Okay, so you said the author recap's really short because she's more elusive than Frida.
Yeah, than Frida McFadden. Because Frida, I mean, Frida gives you some details and you can kind of like parse out what's what. Ms. Liz Moore, there's just not a lot of verbiage on the internet readily available. Her Wikipedia is less than one paragraph long, and then her About Me is very similar. So it seems like she doesn't want her private life blasted out there.
That's really impressive with the internet because I feel like with Frida, it was her fake name. It was a pen name. So it's pretty easy to keep it secretive. But if you're using your real
Yeah,
name and it's still secretive, that's extra impressive.
I know. I know.
That's why she's good at mystery.
Hmm. I agree. Okay, so I am now done with the author recap. That'll probably take me like 25 seconds to do.
Excellent.
Should we just get into it, do the intro and get started, or did you want to chit chat about some stuff?
No, I think we can go ahead and get into it.
Okay, great. Well, so let me do the recap and then we'll do the intro. Is that how we do it?
Sure.
I feel like that's how we do it. Okay. All right. So, author recap, Liz Moore. She was born in 1983 in Massachusetts. Massachusetts. Oh, I was going to look this up. I think it's like one of the wealthiest states in the US,
That sounds right.
right? Because it's small and only rich people can go there. Oh, what Florida's up there. Okay, that this is going a different direction than I. Okay, Massachusetts is number 3.
Oh, what did you look? Oh, yeah, I see that. Yeah, New
Yeah.
Jersey's number one. This is what Google's pulling up.
Okay, we're looking at a different thing. Okay. This says the DC is number 1,
That counts.
I guess. All the politicians.
This is saying based on median household income.
Okay. Well, all right. Whatever. It's one of the top. It's very rich. Why do we care about that? Because this book is about rich people.
Oh,
So I feel
intriguing.
like, yeah, I feel like it, like the old family, the old money,
Hmm.
the things like that. I kind of would imagine that Liz has perhaps been on the periphery. Is that how you say it?
Periphery.
Periphery. Yeah, there you go. She's been on the periphery of these rich people. And so she's probably, if she's not been one of the rich people, we don't know.
That's true. Her Wikipedia doesn't tell us.
Her Wikipedia didn't say if she was a Nepo baby. It did not list it. It did not list it. So
Cannot confirm.
cannot confirm nor deny. Okay. So, born 1983 in Massachusetts. Before she started writing, she worked as a musician in New York City in the early 2000s. This inspired her debut novel, The Words of Every Song.
Ooh.
Yeah. All of her books have been very well received. People say that they're very smart, intelligently written. They have gotten like a few awards here or there, not any of the awards that like we've gone over in the past, but they do
Hmm.
seem like very well received books. So after she wrote her debut novel, The Words of Every Song, then she decided to go get her MFA from Hunter College, which is in New York City, and she got that in 2009.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, and what a perfect time to go to school than during the 2008 financial crisis.
Good planning, Liz Moore.
Honestly, because they say when the market's tanking, you need to go to school. You got to go upskill while the job market's bad, and then you emerge a beautiful butterfly.
That's been my plan the past 26 years.
Yeah.
Just always ready.
You're just stockpiling skills. You're upskilling so hard. Once you finally emerge, you're gonna just take over. All right. So since graduating, she has written 5 novels, 4 novels
Wow.
post-graduation, plus her first one. Yeah. And to write this many consistent novels when her novels seem to be very like well researched and, you know, not just like fiction, like you just kind of make it up. It seems like a lot of research goes into it. I feel like this is really
Yeah.
impressive. So the book she's read or written is Heft in 2012, The Unseen World 2016, Long Bright River 2020, and then most recently, The God of the Woods, which was published July 2nd of this year.
Whoa, I didn't realize how recent it was.
Yes. Yeah. We are on the cutting edge. Finally, we're ahead of the curve.
We did it. And you've been wanting to do this for a few weeks too. I delayed it.
I know. I know. She's also written several short fiction pieces that have been in the New York Times, Tin House, and Narrative Magazine. I don't know the other two, but I definitely know New York Times. She now lives in Philadelphia with her family, and she's a faculty member of the MFA program at Temple University. Fun fact, Bob Saget, may he rest in peace, was an alum from Temple University.
Who's that again?
Oh, God. You know Bob Saget from Full House?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
my
yeah, yeah.
God. Chrissy,
Okay,
your
got it.
homeschool is showing. Your
I feel
homeschool is
like
showing.
Full House though would be homeschool approved. We just didn't have cable.
Well, yeah, I know.
Okay,
Your poverty is showing.
my poor is showing. We're not from Massachusetts. Okay, name very familiar. Yes, it's coming back.
Okay, Chrissy's lying. That's fine.
Well, when you first said it, I was thinking of Pat Sajak and Vanna White.
Yep.
Bob Saget, Pat Sajak. They sound kind of familiar, kind of similar.
Okay, what would be more impressive? Bob Saget is an alum or Pat Sajak? Who would you like
Pat
brag?
Sajak.
Honestly, same. I'd be like, we had a science fair project and he was just spinning this wheel. He couldn't stop spinning the wheel.
I said, Pat, what are you doing?
And he's just like,
and he won.
He won. He won the science fair. Okay. All right. So,
oh my gosh.
for everyone else knows this. They're all impressed. Okay. So now God of the Woods. This was published by Penguin Random House. Are you familiar with that publisher?
Yeah, I don't really know anything about them, but I've like seen the icon,
Yes. So the icon is the little penguin, and I feel like every book in public school was published by them.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, I feel like, that's where I feel like I know it from.
Yeah, so I looked it up because now, ever since we started with Frida and she did the self-publishing, I'm like, I'm so interested. And then Such a Bad Influence was by Quirk. Was it Quirk Books or something?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I thought that was really interesting. So Penguin Random House, which is a weird name. The reason why it's weird is that it used to be
Combined.
Yep. It used to be Penguin Books and Random House. They were two publishers. One was British, one was American. And they said, let's join forces.
They didn't say Random Penguin House because that sounds way better.
I'm sure it has to do less with what sounds better and more of like postulating whose name gets to go first.
They missed an opportunity. Look at that Random Penguin House. Look, there's another one. They're everywhere.
So Chrissy and I, we were talking about with our mom the other day, there's an order to how you describe things.
Oh, right.
And I think and I think the reason why Penguin Random House feels weird to you is because it's the unwritten rule of English.
Yeah.
Yep.
It doesn't make sense.
Nope, it doesn't. But the first company, Penguin Books, they have been around since 1935. And so they're like, we've been around for 100 years, so we get to go first. That's why it's Penguin Random House. No one said that. I just made it up, but I feel like that's what happened in the boardroom.
Probably is. Well, how long has Random House been around? Do you know?
I think they were like newer. And Penguin House was probably like, oh, we're still sitting on our laurels from like Anne of Green Gables. And Random House is like out here getting like the new upcoming book. But let's see. Oh, whoa. Okay. Now I don't know. Guess when Random House was founded?
1920.
1927.
Whoa.
Wow.
But does Penguin have more money?
I guess that, yeah, I don't know.
Because Penguin Random House does not sound right. I don't know. Well, maybe this will be our next mystery to look into.
What if we said, you know what? We're gonna stop doing books. We're gonna do investigative journalism. Find out what happened in that boardroom. Everyone wants to know.
Honestly, I'd be interested.
I know, I would too. I'd be like, excuse me, can I please talk to you about this boardroom meeting? I'm a reporter from Bookalicious Pod. Okay. All right. Well, that mystery will remain unsolved for now, but they did a merger, and Penguin Books was originally founded in 1935, and that one is considered to be one of the big five in English publications.
Okay.
So, like, if you get your book published, there's like a couple that are really well known, and then there's other ones that are lesser known. And Penguin Books, just even you and me, out of all of the different publication companies that we've read from, this is probably the only one that we could speak to.
Name.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Okay. Oh, what were you gonna say?
Well, I was just gonna say I started looking on the Wikipedia and nothing is coming up immediately as to why they named it Penguin Random House and not Random Penguin House.
Yeah. The only thing I can think, if it, because at first I thought, well, I already said what I thought, so I don't need to repeat it. But maybe Penguin, to your point, they were like, we're doing well and Random House is struggling. Maybe they published Anne of Green Gables.
Oh, yeah, it could be. Well, I also wonder because Random House goes together. So if they
Mhm.
did Random Penguin House, then you're taking one name and you're splitting it. You're putting the other one in the middle, which maybe is weird, but I don't know. You're making a new company. So then
Yeah.
maybe neither would be recognized if they did it that way. They're like, who's this random penguin? They're just a knockoff of penguin.
They could
Where
do
did Random
Penguin
House
in a
go?
Random House.
Penguin in a random house.
All
TIRH.
right, that's why we're not
Not
getting
a
paid the
great.
big bucks.
Yeah.
That's why we weren't
a
invited.
ran a random house of penguins.
Oh,
I I think Penguin Random House is the worst option of what we've come up with.
all right, we're gonna have to write a letter to the CEO.
We need answers.
No, we just need to complain. We just want to let you know.
We don't like it.
Yeah, we brainstormed for 2 minutes and we came up with these much better options. So just so you know.
Did you consider them?
Yeah. Okay. So God of the Woods, published by Penguin Random House. Another mystery. Published in July. So since it's been published, it's been on the New York Times bestseller.
Wow.
Yeah. So this thing came out of the gate. So it has been on the bestseller list for 8 weeks and it has been climbing the ranks. So it's now number 6 on top 15 for hardcover.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's high up there.
Yeah. I listened to this podcast. Do you know how the New York Times bestsellers are determined?
I don't know. I assumed it was from sales, but is it not from that?
It is from sales. It's it's kind of like a hand wavy way to do it, but basically bookstores will say, "Oh, we've been selling a lot of this book."
Okay.
And then they'll tell like the New York Times.
What? That's it?
Yeah. Yeah.
What? That doesn't make any sense.
Well, because there's not like a national book market where everyone can say, oh, this book was sold and now it goes into like this database for the New York Times to then put a list. So it's a little weird how it goes. But I think one of the biggest things is the publishing company. I think that helps a lot
Yeah.
in terms of like what are bookstores going to stock, right?
It's yeah. It's just surprising that there isn't some sort of database with that. Where like I'm sure all the random Penguin House books, they know what their book sales are.
Right, but
It
how could
seems
you
like they would then
compare?
share that to the New York Times or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
Or like keep it posted like it's public,
I guess that's true. That makes
you
sense.
know? Like it
Yeah.
seems right because we can look up how many books have sold, right?
Should we
Of this.
start a Bookalicious bestseller list and we say we're not going to rely on people writing in on a piece of paper their favorite books? We're going to do science.
Oh yeah, oh my gosh, we should use our coding and data science skills. Mainly you have those, but I'm starting to learn those. And then we can use them together
Yeah. Yeah.
and make our own. I think you're right. I think
I,
we should. You know what this sounds like?
a new pod.
There's oh, you're right. Well, I don't know what we would talk about other than here's
Our investigative journalism into Penguin House, toppling the big five publishers.
I think we should go into that. I think that's a good idea. Do you have any catchy names off the bat?
Oh no. The first thing that came into my mind, I said, you're going to swallow that up. Publishous.
Delicious.
um, Booklications. No. No.
Publications. You're getting inside scoop on the brainstorm process, everyone.
Yeah, they didn't. That's not why they came here. Okay. Whew. So that's it for the author recap. It was good that we did it on episode 2, though, because like Chrissy said, the last episode's super long. This one,
We had,
not so much, I don't think.
I don't think so either. But we do learn a lot in this next section.
Yes, we're getting a lot of much needed backstory.
Yeah,
So let's do our intro before we
let's
forget.
do it.
We haven't done it,
Yes.
right?
We haven't done it.
All right, good.
That'd be embarrassing. 1 year seasoned podcasters, and we forget to do our intro.
Oh my God, there was something I wanted to update on Bookalicious or Bookalytics.
Oh, oh, okay. Do you want to go to it?
Yeah. I just wanted to give the US state rankings.
We're gonna do our book Olympics.
We are in the Book Olympics right now. And if you want your state to be the top, you're gonna have to tell a friend. So let's give the tops.
All right. Wow, we did it. Number
Yep.
1 spot, Texas.
Texas.
Yeehaw. Led by Houston. Everything's bigger in Texas, even our listening base.
Yep. So Texas is 11% of our US listenership, followed by
California, just one measly percentage point behind,
that could be a
led
rounding
by,
error.
it might be.
It
Who
could
knows?
be. Yep.
It could be, but we won't tell Texans that. You can celebrate this week, Texas.
So Los Angeles, 16% of California, and then there's a big drop off to Sacramento, San Jose, San Diego. So if you're in any of those locales and you want to represent, you need to go call up your friend, buy this book, God of the Woods, and read it with them.
Yeah. Start your own book club and then join ours.
I was like, wait a minute, girl. We can't have everyone starting their own book club. But yeah, you're right. Start a local chapter. Start a local chapter.
Yes, a local chapter.
Okay.
Yes, there we go. Perfect. Okay. And then in third place, this is really crazy. I don't think
Yep.
this has ever happened before. We
Mm-mm.
have Georgia, also 1% behind California. Could be rounding error, but this has never happened.
This has never happened. My house and Anna's house, we have been the strongholds, keeping Georgia at the tip top, but it's not enough. I need to tell more friends.
Oh my gosh. So this means we have more listeners in Texas than the number of times Candy listens to our podcast. That's a lot.
That is a lot. I know, because my narcissism is showing. I just listen to us on repeat nonstop, trying to get those views up.
Doing your civil duty.
Yep. And then in a trailing fourth place is Florida at 7%.
Mm-hmm. It's okay, Mom.
Yeah. Well, now you.
And
Now
me.
you. Yeah.
Oh,
So you spread
goodness.
the good word in Texas. Now you need to spread.
Yeah, doing my missionary work
Yeah.
over here.
Yeah.
I moved across the country just for this.
Well, that's good because you and Josh are going to be moving all around with his med school, and you can just spread the good word everywhere.
Mm-hmm. We could end
Bookalicious
up in
missionary.
Alaska.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. All right, great.
Okay, that's all I wanted to
Well,
touch
congrats,
on.
everybody.
Yep. Oh, we also got a new 5-star on Apple
Oh,
Pod.
yay. Oh, exciting.
I know, which that's rare. Most people don't listen on Apple. We are really a Spotify podcast at this point.
Even though they don't sponsor us.
I know. Terrible. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's do the intro. Now that it's in 30 minutes, I think people are ready to talk about this book.
Can't break with tradition.
Nope. Mm-mm.
Not a year in.
No.
All right. Welcome to Bookalicious, a podcast where two sisters chat about books we're reading. I'm Chrissy.
And I'm Candace.
And today we are on part 2 of The God of the Woods by Liz Moore.
Yes. The mysterious Liz Moore.
Yeah, what's more mysterious, Liz Moore or this book?
Ooh. Probably Liz Moore because I never get more information. But as I continue to read the book, it does unfold.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like I know a lot about Barbara at this moment.
Yes.
At least a lot more.
Okay. So do you want to do high level talk about part 4, or do you want to just do summary and go right into it?
Yeah, I'm thinking high level summary of, isn't part 3 the first part that we're doing today?
Yeah, part 3, When Lost.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, I'll do very brief high level summary of that, and then we can just kind of go through it.
Sounds great.
Like normal. Okay. So part 3. So the investigation ensues. Everyone's looking for Barbara. Tracy goes looking for Barbara because she knows Barbara's secret hiding spot that she has evidently been sneaking out to every night. And Tracy's like, I know where it is. I can go. Okay. So Tracy goes on, we can talk about this more later, but on an 1.5-hour hike by herself to this place she's never been before, brings no water, brings no food, brings no sunscreen. And she's like, it's okay. I'll be fine. Okay. Clearly she's not fine.
As very unathletic.
Never been in the woods before.
She's going for it.
Yeah. Okay. So Tracy felt very confident in this moment. So good for her. But she goes and she gets lost. Then she ends up meeting a stranger. She also didn't have her glasses. Okay. So she's going blind in this wood, meets a stranger. She can't really tell what he looks like, but he leads her back to the camp. So good Samaritan stranger. And good thing she made it back. Okay.
Well,
do we know who it is?
Well, we think so.
I think so.
Is your summary going to go into that, or
no? Because does it actually say in the book?
I guess not. Okay.
I guess we can just say it. Okay. Well, I'm pretty much 100% sure this is Jacob Slitter.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Unless it's Bear. Okay, we won't go into that.
Oh,
I just made it up.
Whoa.
I just made it up.
Whoa. That'd be crazy. Barbara's been visiting Bear every night.
Okay, finish your summary.
Whoa, I didn't think about that. Okay, so whoa, I think you're exactly right now. It's not, yeah, it's too obvious that it's Jacob Slitter. It's totally fair. Okay. So, anyways, Tracy makes it back eventually, so that's good. Meanwhile, the detectives come to the camp, and so there's Denny Hayes, who's kind of like seasoned old guy detective, and there's Judita, who is new kid on the block. She's the only female detective in like the whole land, and so it's she's kind of like figuring out her place here. Okay. Um, they interview Luis, who was the head camp counselor, who was not there the night Barbara disappeared. Luis had been in cahoots with Annabelle, saying, like, hey, let's make sure, let's cover our bases. Let's say we were both there, whatever, whatever. But it appears that Annabelle has perhaps not kept up her end of the bargain. So Denny Hayes ends up escorting her to the detective's office. Things seem a little weird though. There's some weird dynamics with Denny Hayes, so we can get into what that means, but seems a little strange.
He's giving full on pedo vibes.
Yeah, he is.
Okay.
He is. Yeah. So in my summary, I wrote Judita is not having a good time interviewing people because she got stuck with all the rich people who don't want to talk to her. One, because they don't want to talk to detectives. Two, that they don't think she's a detective because she's a woman. But Denny Hayes may be having too good of a time interviewing people. So we see that. Um, the other the other layer to all of this that we discover, Luis, when she's getting interviewed by the detective, she's like, I want a lawyer. And he's like, okay, who's your lawyer? And she said, he's at the main house because she's thinking about John Paul, or John Paul's dad, I think is the actual lawyer. I don't think John Paul's a lawyer. Anyways, so she wants to go see the John Pauls. And so she goes to the house and asks for John Paul. He doesn't come out, but his dad comes out. And his dad says, hey, are you the woman? Are you the reason why John Paul came home beaten up last night and bloody and drunk? And then he disappeared in the middle of the night and he's not here this morning. And she's like, what? And then he just walks away. So she does not have a lawyer. So she's she does not have a lawyer and now no fiance. And now she seems really suspicious.
It started off with him being like, who are you?
That's true.
That was
They are
just,
not engaged.
oh my God, that was full on Hrathen from Elantris. Nightmare. Nightmare. You march in there so proud, and you're like, I'm gonna get a hoity-toity lawyer. And they're like, who are you?
Yeah, I'm gonna ask my future father-in-law to represent me.
Oh my God.
And then he doesn't know me and he accuses me of beating up his son.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so yeah, Luis is really not having a good time. All right. Um Judita does interview the grandparents, though, the Van Laar grandparents. They seem extra sketchy. I totally think the Van Laars and JP's family are like behind everything.
Mm-hmm. You
That's
think they're
just
the
me,
big
though.
bad?
I think so. Yeah, I think Liz Moore is like, I grew up around these rich people. This is my whole story about them. And
It's like I'm selling them out right now.
they're, yeah. Yeah, if you, yeah, all of these families actually represent real rich families.
We should
We
do
can map it out at the end.
okay. Once we get enough subscribers who are paying money so that you can get a new $30 microphone, then we need to get the subscribers to pay for us to go to Boston and we can do some recon, find all the rich families, do
Yeah.
some investigative journalism.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, we need to start our new podcast.
No, we'll just make it an
Book
extension.
yeah, okay. We'll make our own network.
Our own network. That's right.
Of just us. Okay. Um, all right. Oh, and the Van Lars, I guess, let's see. Who did you need to talk to? Because the Van Lars actually don't want to talk to the detectives until, oh, I guess the parents maybe. Um, what's his face? Peter and Alice aren't going to talk to the detectives until their lawyer, the captain, comes.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Okay, did I miss any big thing from there?
The biggest thing is that we find out that the person who was accused of Bear's murder is now dead. implying that it was not Jacob Slitter who was convicted of Bear's murder.
Okay, that is important.
Yeah, so that was an important plot piece. Everything else seemed good. Yeah. hmm
Good, good, good. Okay.
Oh, well, we'll get into that. Okay. So now my first note is the first sentence of the first part of page 3
Very
is
good.
Tracy felt like she was falling in love with Barbara Van Laar. Did you see that
Whoa.
coming, or did that feel out of left field?
Um, I don't know. Maybe slightly out of left field, but I also don't, it doesn't super seem like it's romantic love, I don't think. Like, I think she just thinks Barbara's so cool and she like kind of wants to be Barbara,
I thought it was a
you know?
very, yeah. I think Tracy, because you have to remember, even though Tracy does the dumbest thing in the world, she's like 13. She's very young. And I think
Yeah.
when you're at this age, you are like first becoming like romantically activated when you see people
Mm-hmm.
that you're attracted to. And so you're kind of sorting out what's what and what do you feel. And I feel like there's probably a lot of people where you have a good friend and you're like, do I like them romantically? Is this friendship? What is it? Because she's still very
Hmm.
attracted to the other guy too. So kind of
Yeah.
that to me felt like a very like honest take on adolescence when you're first kind of hitting puberty and you just have all of these hormones and feelings going on.
Yeah, I kind of think so too.
hmm
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's like good that she brought that out.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you think the guy, what's his name? Lowell Cargill, how do you think he's gonna fit into this? Because in this chapter, he's like the super cute guy at camp and he sings and he plays guitar and Tracy sings and they decide to sing together. He invites her, he's like, hey, we should sing together. And she gets up the courage and is like, okay. And then they end up practicing together one night. And it's like amazing time of her life. How do you think he's going to fit into all of this?
I think he is going to really let Tracy down because I think the Melissas are going to steal her diary and read it aloud. And then Lowell
Oh
is not
no.
gonna, he's not gonna defend her. He's gonna be like,
No.
yeah, she smells, or he'll say something like that.
Oh, that's so sad. I bet you're right.
I know.
Man.
I
All
know.
right. So she's just gonna go full in on finding Barbara, only true friend.
I think by the end of the book, Hewitt will come around and be like, I'm sorry, like I didn't mean it. And I think it'll work out. But I think Tracy is, that's why you do not write a journal in the open at camp. Okay.
About everything you know about sex. At one point, it writes that. She writes everything she knows about sex into this journal. I'm just like,
Ugh.
what? And I wrote down that's going to be so embarrassing when the detectives get a hold of your journal.
Oh no. Okay, if adults read it, embarrassing, but like recoverable.
Right. But your fellow campers,
If
not recoverable.
those Melissas, I do not trust them. If they get a hold of that
No.
journal, it is going to be read on a megaphone.
Yeah.
Like like straight up calling my parents, I need a helicopter to take me out of here. I can never go back.
Oh my gosh, I know. Oh, poor Tracy. I hope she gets a win though. I hope that she's able to sing and she grows in confidence from all of that. I hope that
Mhm.
happens. I want that
Yeah.
for her.
And Barbara seems like just such a great friend to Tracy.
Hmm.
Is when like the setting up the singing with Tracy and Lowell, she knows that she likes him. And Lil's like, "Oh, Barbara said that like you're really good at singing. Like, would you want to sing with me?" And I was like, "What a good
Aw.
friend."
Good move, Barbara. Okay, but I did have a question. So do you think Barbara actually likes Tracy, or do you think is there a chance she could be using Tracy?
Ooh, to like keep her secrets.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, oh, I would hate that for poor little Tracy.
I know.
Um, there might be, I think she enjoys spending time with Tracy and maybe like how Tracy's just like very kind and like I know the Melissas haven't
Genuine.
done anything, but I feel like they're evil. And I was gonna say not like the mean Melissas, although they haven't done anything for me to
Yeah, we
think
don't know anything about them.
we don't know anything about them except that I hate them. Like,
Well, okay. They don't talk to Tracy. Like they're not nice or like they're not super welcoming. And that in itself could kind of be like they're kind of
yeah,
like cliquish, is at least what it seems like.
yeah. So I think she likes that, but I do think there might be a little bit of Barbara sees her as an easy mark, you know, to
Hmm.
kind of keep her rendezvous and escapades hush hush.
Yeah, but then why would she even tell Tracy to begin with? Like, what does she gain from?
Well, because they're bunkmates. And she was on the top bunk,
Oh,
and then she wanted to go to the bottom bunk, and then she would
that's
go out
true.
every night, and Tracy would see. And it's like if it was one of the Melissas, they would be squealing.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so I don't know. That thought crossed my mind
That's a good
during this
thought.
chapter.
Yeah.
Hope it's not true, but I don't think so because Barbara actually seems like she's a nice person. She's like kind of edgy,
Hmm.
but I feel like she's nice. So I don't think she's using Tracy.
Yeah. Yeah. Something that I underlined. So Barbara is talking about TJ and the Hewitts, and TJ's kind of like this
Mysterious.
I was gonna say like a deity, but like like when you're at camp and it's like there's that
Mm,
one person who's like they're in charge and everyone looks up to them and they like are highly respected. That's TJ. And
yeah.
Barbara's just like, "Hey TJ, what's up, girl? Like, how are you? Like this and that." And Tracy's just so in like, how can you just talk to TJ like that? That's crazy. And Barbara's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
she's my babysitter." The Hewitts, and this is what I underlined, are like family. And so what I asked is if people work for you, can they really be like family?
Mm, don't think so. For a kid, I think so.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's hard when the line starts blurring. At the end of the day,
Hmm.
someone's working for somebody.
Right. Like,
Yeah.
if we're really like family, then just give me money and don't make me work.
Yeah,
That's that's what family would
I
do. Like,
know. Yeah. Yeah, family doesn't ask for a timesheet every week.
no, yeah, They don't have to approve my PTO. Curious.
Yeah.
So Jacob Slitter, did you clock his birthday?
No, I clocked the day he was arrested.
Guess when his birthday is?
When?
December 23rd.
Wait, that's his birthday?
Yep.
That's not, I thought that was the day he was arrested. It's both?
Oh, shoot. It's your birthday, but that is the day he was arrested.
I know. I saw that. I was like, no, not on the 23rd.
Oh my God. That was good. He got caught the day that you were being born.
Well, what is that? 33 years ahead of time.
You knew. You knew.
Yeah, I was part of it. I was helping the detectives.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So Tracy gets a newspaper from Lowell Cargill, her crush,
Hmm.
and I honestly I love the descriptions of how it all becomes very like churchy and religious, where it was like what did they say? It was like a relic or something. Oh, yeah. So Lowell was reading a newspaper and he says, "You can have this if you want. I'm done with it." She took it into her hands, knowing without a doubt that she would keep it in her trunk for the rest of the session, a sort of holy relic sanctified by Lowell Cargill's touch. I thought that was so funny. But anyways, she reads the newspaper and it's all about Jacob Slitter. And so that's how she learns all this backstory.
Yeah.
If he had been accused for all these like homicides and all these people who went disappearing in the woods, they're like, oh, it's Jacob Slitter. But he always said he was innocent, but he had a lot of damning evidence, such as
Hmm.
like artifacts from the victims. Or let's see,
Fingerprints.
his fingerprints were at the crime scene. His siblings said he was sadistic. And then one survivor of an attempted homicide said that Jacob Slitter was the one. So, do you think he's innocent?
So part of me is like, okay, when you're in this old money territory, small town vibes, you can get a lot of, as you say, damning evidence that's all like falsified.
Mm-hmm.
That is very much like possibility on the table. The siblings,
I mean, that was some pretty strong evidence on all accounts.
that I feel like he's killing some people. He's definitely a murderer. I don't think he killed Bear because Bear is alive.
Oh, you think he's alive
I
now?
think he's alive. Once that
You think he
off
helped
the cuff,
Tracy?
yeah, he's been in the woods this whole time.
Whoa, that's super impressive.
Yeah, yeah. He is Mowgli from the Jungle Book. Like,
Okay, all right. So Jacob Slitter was arrested in 1964. Bear was
mhm.
lost what in 1961?
So Slitter was killing. I did take notes. Slitter was doing his killings when Bear went missing. That is correct.
Okay. Because I'm just thinking there's no chance Bear could be Jacob Slitter. That one's off the table. That idea had just come to me, but no.
No, he was only 9.
Yeah. So, all right. So that one's out.
Bear's the serial killer. He's this 9-year-old going around holding people at gunpoint. That's why the grandpa was like, I got to get rid of you. You ain't right.
Well, no, okay, but if Jacob Slater were innocent and somehow Bear had kind of like taken over this identity, okay, that was kind of an idea, but I don't think that's right. I don't know. I'm kind of thinking Jacob Slater could still be innocent.
I think I could see it being innocent, and I think that's on the table. But like, if I was the jury, I would probably still feel like it would be so many things would have to go exactly wrong for Jacob Slitter for this to happen. Could that be a possibility? Yes. Is it a likely possibility? No. But we're reading a book, so now I'm in the 50-50 territory. But if I was on the jury, I'd
Hmm.
be like guilty.
Yeah. Well, what if the Van Laars are paying you $1 million to say he's guilty?
Oh, now I say innocent. Oh, but
Well,
like,
okay, I guess like they planted all the evidence and stuff.
yeah, is it possible that they paid off the jury and planted all the evidence? Definitely. Could it
I think
be,
so.
yeah, could it be the dad being like, I'm tired of hunting deer and I want to go hunt people and do rich people stuff?
Oh, okay. You weren't suggesting that Peter is actually the murderer. Or you
Like the
think he could
grandpa.
be.
Grandpa.
Do you think the grandpa is the murderer? And then he covered up his track. Somehow framed Jacob Slitter for it.
I could see that.
Ah, that could make sense. I could see that.
These people just, the
Hmm.
Peters, they seem not good.
Yeah, they don't seem super good. Um, oh, I had a question. I can't. Okay, wait. So we don't know who actually got convicted for Bear's disappearance because it's not Jacob Slitter.
It's not, but it's heavily implied by the end of the next section
That it was Jacob Slitter?
of who was charged. It was Carl.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's yeah.
Yeah, and they say that
Oh, so
the person
sad.
who got convicted of Bear's thing died and Carl's having like heart attacks. So you're like, he ain't gonna
Oh,
make it.
that's right.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
it
that makes me sad.
yeah. It sounds like it all gets pinned on Carl, who's definitely innocent.
Mm, right. So we know it's not Carl.
I would
So the
say.
person who's
Mhm.
yeah, I think we're like pretty sure it's not Carl. So the even though they say, oh, the person who is convicted with bears disappearing is dead now, we
Mhm.
know that doesn't even matter
Yeah,
because that wasn't the right person.
that's
So
what
it
I
could
think.
still be Jacob Slitter. Could be Bear just ran away on his own and made his own life in the woods.
Yeah, still unclear. Mhm.
Okay.
But Slitter's looking like a very like reasonable person to a point where it's like if they did convict Carl, we don't know that for a fact yet. If they did convict him, I feel like his defense attorney didn't do a good job because you'd be like, well, there's this guy who was actually killing all these people at the same time in the same area. So like, why couldn't it be him?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Well, I think it'll be really devastating to read what happens to Carl because it doesn't make any sense for him
Mhm.
to be convicted.
Yeah.
But all right.
Okay. So Tracy's, are you ready for the next part?
Yeah.
Okay, so Tracy's like, I'm gonna go into the woods with no water or glasses or any supplies. And as she's walking, she sees Lee, and he's walking out of the kitchen or something, the staff quarters, with
Yeah.
2 bags of garbage. And as he
Is it
walks,
the
he rocks his
garbage?
feet
Uh-huh.
from heel to toe so carefully that he makes no noise at all. Tracy jumps, startled when she sees him, and the movement draws his eye. What is in those bags?
You know, I forgot about that detail until you just read it, but I bet it's the evidence that Denny Hayes pulls up later where it's like Annabelle's vomit and the cocaine and stuff. It's totally that.
Wouldn't it make sense if Annabelle got poisoned or
Drugged?
drugged? Yep, I was gonna say roofied, but then I was like, can I say that? Drugged.
Okay.
Yeah. If she got drugged, would it not be from the cook?
Good point. Excellent point. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Okay, so is that theory still thinking that Lee and Barbara are in cahoots? Because our original thought was that
Mm-hmm.
they're they love each other. They're like, we're gonna run away or whatever.
Yeah, they're boyfriend,
So then they
girlfriend.
make this whole scheme. Yeah. Um, and so if Lee poisoned Annabelle, then Annabelle was out. She wasn't watching the camp. So that
Mm-hmm.
helps. And then Lee also met with Luis that night.
Mm-hmm.
That's the same guy. Yeah. So then now uh Luis is out of the picture.
Mm-hmm.
And then okay, but here's where it gets interesting because one Lee is is John Paul's drug dealer.
Yep.
John Paul disappears.
Yep.
Is it possible that Lee was like, "Hey, you should go"? And okay, I think okay, now that I'm thinking about this, I think Lee and John Paul staged the whole thing. Luis is just a pawn in their scheme. Um, and
Oh,
I think Lee planted that bag of cocaine that the detective found in their
yeah.
trash. That's what I'm thinking. But if Lee is
Oh.
sinister, then is Barbara sinister? Or maybe is Lee behind bears? I don't know if he's old enough to do that.
Lee is
Probably not old enough.
a peer of Bear, so I don't
Okay,
think
yeah.
I don't think that could have happened. Maybe if they're trying to do the ransom thing, like we talked about.
Okay, so they're like stealing Barbara away and they're gonna ask for ransom.
Yeah, and Barbara's in on it or something.
Okay.
Because I think that was one of our theories is that Barbara is trying to extort her family for money so she can get away from them.
I have a new theory too. Okay,
Okay.
if it's the money thing though, why would they want to frame Luis? Because everything they're doing is making Luis and Annabelle more and more guilty of at least negligence. Because right now the
I guess you're
parents aren't
right.
really
Unless,
involved.
yeah, unless they just wanted to help Barbara get out. Why would they do that though? Because I
Why would
don't
they
think
do what?
Lee, why would they help Barbara run away and stage a murder? Because that's basically what you're saying.
Well, isn't it for the ransom?
No, I'm saying, because you're right. Like if they were doing ransom, they wouldn't be pinning it on Luis because
Yeah,
then how would they get the ransom? So that couldn't work.
right,
So
right.
then ransom's off the table. Now the only thing is stage a kidnapping. Why would you do that? If you stage a kidnapping, it's because you want to run away, disappear. So
Mm.
like maybe Barbara's like, my family sucks. I want to fake my death.
Oh,
But
oh,
why
and
would
she's bringing
Lee?
Luis down with her.
I mean,
Ugh.
yeah. She's like, well, if they don't find the body, they won't be able to convict.
Yeah.
Because it is really hard to convict someone if you don't have a body.
Well, I mean, we're thinking, what's his face? Craig,
Carl.
Carl. We're
Yeah,
thinking Carl went to jail just because he's the last person to see Bear alive. So I mean, that's if that can happen,
uh, that's
like
true.
anything can happen.
I don't think Barb at age of 14 or whatever would have enough forethought for that. But why would Lee and John Paul help if that's what it is? Like, why would they help her? There's no reason for them to help her.
You don't think Lee is dating Barbara?
I mean, maybe, but that feels like really extensive for Lee.
Yeah, it does. Okay, do we? Uh-huh.
I was just gonna say that just feels like a lot to ask.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so one thing that's kind of getting me stuck here is do you think the cocaine that Denny Hayes finds in Annabelle and Louise's trash, do you think that was planted there or was that actually theirs? Because if it was planted there by Lee, presumably by Lee, or by John Paul, I guess it could be by John Paul,
Hmm.
then like they're a lot more heavily involved in this whole plot. If it wasn't planted by them, then they're not as involved
I feel like it has to be Lee who planted it.
just because he has more access. Like it'd be easier to.
Yeah, he has the drugs. He's on the campus. If he's walking around, it's not going to be weird. If John Paul's like sneaking around with a little bag of cocaine, people will be like, "What are you doing here?" I'll be like, "Oh, nothing to see here. I just need to drop something in the trash." You know, like I feel like John Paul could or Lee could get away with it. Now, maybe is he in cahoots with John
Yeah.
Paul? Possibly. But why?
Okay. Do you think the two rich families are at odds with each other? So then they kidnap Barbara. Mm, no.
Now, maybe because Barbara's family, they're the
Mm-hmm.
bankers. Maybe John Paul's family owes the bankers a lot of money.
That could be it.
And maybe they're trying to figure out using Barbara as like leverage to, I don't
Yeah,
know,
get out of their debts or something.
get out of their debts. That would go back to like the ransom thing, which is like, why are they staging it on Louise? But maybe they want to stage it on her knowing that like it's not going to really go anywhere because she has an alibi of Lee. They're both each other's alibi when Barbara went missing.
Yeah. Okay.
Because, like, if you say that Lee has an alibi, then you also have to say Louise has an alibi because they're each
Yeah.
other's alibi.
Other than she was supposedly doing cocaine and drinking and out of the cabin when she was supposed to be watching the kids, which in itself could be kind of criminalizing. Not for kidnapping, but for other things.
Well, yeah, for other things, but in terms of the kidnapping, that would make her more innocent. Now, my initial thought with Lee and the garbage bags is I was like, did he kill John Paul and chop him up and put him in those bags?
Oh my
Because John Paul's
gosh.
gone.
Could be. Oh, I don't know. You're right.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that.
So that's my thought is that maybe Lee hates John Paul
Hmm.
and they got into a fight and then he accidentally killed him.
Oh.
And now he's trying to like, maybe he's trying to like create a diversion so that he can get rid of the
Yeah.
body. So then he's like planting the cocaine and doing that to kind of cover up his tracks.
Oh. Huh. That's
I
interesting.
don't know.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't
I
know.
don't think he killed John Paul.
You think John Paul's alive?
Yeah, I think John Paul's alive. I think
Yeah.
so. Okay, I did have another theory though, that what if Barbara ran away, not for a ransom, but what if she knows that there's some fishy business going on in the Van Laar banking world, and she knows her family is guilty of something, and somehow she's going to use this whole scenario to bring it to light. Is that possible?
Mm. I could totally see that. And maybe that's why Lee's helping her
Yeah,
because he hates those rich people too.
right. Those
And
rich
he's like, let's
folk.
be rebels together.
Yeah. Yeah, let's bring down the rich people.
Yeah,
But how
that's a
would
good
but
idea.
how would this do that? Maybe just having the
Because she,
detectives look into their business.
yeah, maybe that could be it. Like have them snoop around. Or maybe Bear is really dead and Barbara's like, I know my grandpa did it. So I'm gonna do the same thing and like bring his case back up and I don't know.
Oh, that's
I don't know.
interesting.
I really do. I know you feel like John Paul is alive. I feel like him and Lee, it wasn't intentional, accidental killing. And then he
Really?
has to like, yeah, I'm thinking so.
Okay, so you think Lee may not be involved in the bigger plot. He's on his own little side quest of hiding John Paul's body.
I think he is in cahoots with Barb.
Okay.
And then John Paul and all this got out of hand. And now he's like, oh, shoot. Classic, like it was supposed to be easy, clean. And then someone comes in and then they make it more complicated.
Mm, okay. Man, so Lee doesn't like Louise. He would throw her under the bus and plant the cocaine. But you're saying she won't
Well,
actually be in trouble because
yeah, I think they're kind of, if they're planting it on her, I think they're kind of betting that it really won't go that bad for her because I don't know.
yeah, pretty risky.
Pretty risky. Maybe now, if it's to really take down the Van Laars, they're like, all right, we'll pin it on Louise. And then once it's all said and done, Barbara will come back and be like, I'm alive.
Okay. Hmm.
Did you think it was weird that, so like when Judita goes to the camp, you find out that the Van Laars didn't want to, quote, cause any unnecessary alarm about Barbara's disappearance.
So they said like camp continue as normal kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was weird. That was weird.
And
And mhm.
oh, go for it.
Well, yeah, that was weird. And I guess it was still this same section. Like they wanted camp to continue as normal for the rest of the session, right? But then
Hmm.
Tracy went disappearing too. And the counselors were like, these kids really just got to go. We don't know what's happening. But yeah,
Yeah.
the Van Laars just wanted to continue as normal. That was super weird.
Well, they're kind of like, oh, she's just a runaway.
Yeah,
She's had a lot of problems.
just the normal.
What did you think about? Yeah, what did you think about that?
That's why I kind of think they're behind it. Maybe they're not behind this
Yeah.
one. I feel like they're definitely behind. I don't know, because on the one hand, I think Barbara did run away and is plotting something. On the other hand, I think the Van Laars are the big bad and are plotting
Hmm.
everything, you
Hmm.
know? So, so yeah, okay. What if the Van Laars do have a big plot to, for whatever reason, they wanted to stage Barbara's kidnapping, but Barbara knew they were going to do that. So then she decided to stage her own kidnapping with Lee or whoever.
Why would the Van Laars want to stage her
I don't
kidnapping?
know. Unless they
I
just
don't,
want to get rid of her. Like, unless it's not just a kidnapping they wanted to stage. But
yeah, they're like, we're tired of you.
yeah, but I don't know if I really see that. But on the other
No,
hand, if I think that they staged Bear's kidnapping, he was like the golden child. So why would they want to get rid of Bear?
I don't think they wanted to get rid of Bear. I think, I think the reality is Bear probably ran away
Really?
because
Okay.
Grandpa was scary or something,
Oh,
or sister took him, like we talked about,
sister took
Daphne,
him.
Delphine,
Oh, right. Right.
or something like that. Okay, so that's one scenario. The other scenario is that Grandpa was like, "Where are you, little boy?" And then he got really mad and he like whacked him with his walking stick and then he was dead. And then he was like, "Oh shoot."
Oh.
Kind of like fit of rage and like accidentally.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then he has to cover it up and do all this other stuff.
Ooh, okay. Actually, I could see that happening. And I could also see the scenario where he's about to go to grandpa alone in the woods and Bear's scared that the grandpa like is actually going to kill him. And so then yeah, Bear
Yeah.
runs away. Bear's been living in the woods all this time. He's been kind of watching the family from afar.
Yeah.
He's seen Barbara grow up. He's seen
Ooh.
Barbara start going to this like secret house or whatever. He meets her there and he says, "Hey, I'm Bear. I'm
Yeah.
alive." And now they're going into cahoots together. They run away together.
I would love that.
I kind of feel good about that idea. I think Bear's alive.
I want yeah, I think Bear's alive too, and I want him to run away with Barbara and get away from their horrible family.
Mm-hmm. Bear Bera. Okay. I feel pretty good about that.
Yeah, I like that too.
Yeah. Hmm.
So Denny Hayes, he is like 100% creep.
Yeah, very strange. She says a lot of weird things to Judita.
He says, she says, Mr. Hayes, he says, please call me Denny. You're a grown woman now, right?
Because he didn't he oh no, that's Luis. He
He
dated
dated her
Luis's
mom.
mom. Wait, he dated Judita's mom or Luis's mom?
Oh, I'm sorry. He was talking
Oh,
to
Luis.
Luis
Yeah, yeah,
about that.
yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, and he had dated Luis's mom, so he knew her as a kid. It's like it's already weird that you're like so much older than her and she's like early 20s. That's already like weird, but whatever. But then you know them as a kid
Uh-huh.
and now you're like, "Oh, you're all grown up now." That is like
Yeah.
ugh.
That's weird.
And then he says, "I always liked you. I heard some people gave you a hard time when you got older and said things about you. I never believed them." I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah, he says that. And then we also get some weird things where, like, okay, so Luis is overhearing Annabelle's interrogation. And at first, I think she hears Annabelle and she's like kind of stressed or like maybe crying or something. But then it all ends and Annabelle's like happy and laughing and whatever, whatever. So things seem to work out well for
yeah,
her. But then when she's talking to Denny, yeah, he's saying these weird things. And then he basically says like, "Hey, Annabelle ratted you out. Here's your cocaine bag. Can you explain this?" And now Luis is like, "What the heck is happening?" And then he brings her to the detective's office or something, and it's either Luis or it's Judita. I think it's Judita who's like, "That's kind of strange. Why is he doing that?" And I was like,
yeah,
"Oh no, is Denny Hayes gonna like assault Luis or
yeah.
something?"
I was
Ugh.
like, this is where we're going. And then
Yes.
it kind of took a left turn, and then he just left her there.
Okay. Left her with a cup of coffee. Do you think it's drugged?
Oh, I didn't think it was drugged, but police do this a lot. So if you ever, okay, just so you know, if you ever get taken in by the police, they are allowed to lie about the evidence that they have.
Interesting.
So he could have the bag of cocaine and he can say, "Oh, we found this in your trash," and it's not true. So
Mm.
they are allowed to lie to you. That's number one. Number two, there's this thing where it's like if you drink a cup of coffee and then you throw the cup away, it's now considered trash. So then they're allowed to collect it and get your DNA off of it.
Whoa, that's
Yep.
interesting.
Yeah. So that's why they're always very hospitable, asking if you want coffee, this or that. And you have to like not touch anything, not drink anything,
Very
and call your
interesting.
lawyer.
Did not know that.
Hmm
Good to
Yeah.
know.
So they will lie to you. That's their job. They will lie to you and then they will offer you a cup of coffee and you have to say no.
Wow. Okay, so you don't think it's drugged. You think they're trying to get her DNA, maybe?
I Part of me was like, because I felt like he was going to be like, if you want to get out of this, then you have to give me like a favor.
Yeah.
That's where I thought this was going. But then he left her. So I'm like, is he just going to like leave her on ice and make her like really sweat it out and then ask for the favor? Or was that just a red herring and he's just like kind of creepy, says stuff?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. And either way, how does he fit into everything? Why is this even part of the story? You know?
Yeah. I think if anything, if anything, this could be like the symbolism of history repeating itself, where you get someone who works from that town, Luis,
Uh-huh.
who gets pinned for a crime that she didn't
Oh.
commit that the Van Laars committed
Oh, yeah.
because she's the only counselor in there that's not one of the rich families.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. And you
Because
think, uh-huh.
I was just gonna say, I feel like the overarching theme of this book is the rich people abusing the little town people.
Yeah. No, that I think that's a good theory. But like as far as Denny Hayes being potentially abusive, do you think he's just paid off by the Van Laar, so he's doing these weird things?
I feel like he's just a creep.
Okay.
I still feel like he's gonna ask for a favor later on.
Yeah.
Like, because he hasn't even spoken to the Van Laars to like figure anything out yet,
Yeah.
you know? I feel like what would have to happen is in like a couple of days, they say, "Hey, Denny, here's a bag of money, and uh, we heard Louise is already in jail, so it must be her." You know,
Yeah, easy.
like, yeah, I feel like he is up to something. We're gonna find out next time.
Okay.
But what do you think?
Yeah, I think that probably sounds right. So the Van Laars are trying to pin it on Luis. That could make sense.
Yeah, I don't even think that like they know who they're gonna pin it on.
They just, yeah, okay.
They're like, go pick a townie.
They're all the
Like,
same.
and it's like once again, Slitter out on the lam, and they're like, it's got to be this innocent townie,
Yeah. Not
you
Jacob.
know? Not no, not this convicted murderer, not him. We get good reasoning for Barbara to run away. We learned about how she went to like a girls' school and she had a boy in her room.
Hmm.
We don't know what the boy looks like. The principal is very firm with Peter too, Barbara's dad, and I feel like he's really upset because he couldn't boss her around. So then he's like, "We're out of here. We're sending her away to like military school or something like that."
Yeah. Do you think that the boy could be Bear?
Definitely not Bear. I was thinking Lee.
Um,
I feel like it's got to be her boyfriend.
yeah. I mean, I was thinking boyfriend too, but since we've been talking about her and Bear running away together.
I'm legitimately imagining if Bear is alive, he is raised by wolves. He's not able to use transportation and get places.
He can't be seen in public society. He's wearing like his loincloth made from
He's
sheepskin.
like, yeah, he's like Robin Williams Jumanji. Like being like, what is a computer? Don't know.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds right. Okay, but yeah, so the whole reason she wanted to run away was her mom. Okay, yeah, so her parents are like, well, okay, Peter is like, we need to bring Barbara to a new school. You need to break the news to her, Alice, and he leaves. And Alice is like, oh my gosh, I hate this. And then Alice keeps avoiding telling Barbara that she's going to go to a new school. And then Alice has a brilliant idea. She's like, I know. We'll just pack her up like she's going to her same school. Then we'll start driving there. And then on the way, when she can't turn back, I'll break the news to her. I was like, oh my gosh, what the heck? Like that's
Guess what
awful.
I wrote?
What?
I said, God, the worst
Yeah.
about that thing. It's terrible.
I know. I was like, I like go couldn't imagine a worse way to do that.
Alice is,
I don't
she's not a good
know.
mom to Barb. She's
Yes,
not a good
but
mom
I
to Barb.
do also, so we hear more about Alice's backstory. Is it in this part? No, it's in the next part more. And it is really sad
Mhm.
about how Peter treats her and how I feel like she's kind of been molded into this awful person. And like, had she had better influences, I think she could be a much different person.
Yes,
But
I would agree with that.
yeah, but anyways, as it is, yeah, terrible. So yeah, I also think, I think like what you were saying is that Barbara has found out about this and she's like, I'm just going to leave myself.
Yeah.
So, but we're
I mean,
assuming
that could
Barbara
be a
found out.
reason. That could be the reason why she's staging her kidnapping because she's like, they're going to send me to this horrible school. I'm not going to go there.
Yeah.
Maybe she's not going to take down the big bank.
She just doesn't want to go to school.
She's like, well, she doesn't want to go to that school.
Yeah. How would she have found out though? She overheard them maybe?
Probably.
Yeah. They're probably not very secretive.
No. Now, maybe if Delphine has Bear,
Whoa.
she's like, you can come live with me in secret.
That'd be really wild. If Delphine has bear, that'd be a big twist.
That would be
I
crazy.
think it's more likely bears living in the woods, Jumanji style.
Oh my God. Okay, so Alice hears what sounds like a young girl crying out.
Mm.
And I thought that was Tracy.
I thought it was Tracy too.
But after we learn about Alice's backstory, you find out that she starts having hallucinations when Bear goes missing, that she keeps hearing a little boy.
Yeah.
So do you think she's having like hallucinations or do you think it's like legit?
I don't know because okay, I kind of thought it was Tracy. And I don't know. I mean, I think it could maybe still have been Tracy that she was hearing. I don't think it's confirmed that it
Yeah,
wasn't.
either
Although,
or.
yeah, although I think Tracy is kind of far away. Like it'd be kind of strange if Alice is the only person in the whole camp who heard Tracy, you know?
Yeah.
So that'd be a little strange. Um, yeah, it could be kind of like same sort of like PTSD coming back of like now Barbara's gone missing and yeah, now she's hearing a girl scream. So I think that's really possible. I do think though, I'm trusting her mother intuition. Bear's alive
hmm
and these hallucinations mean something.
hmm
That's what I'm thinking. What do you think?
yeah, I think Bear's alive, although she stops hearing Bear after a certain amount of time.
Is that the
I
drugs though
think
that
after
she's
they put her in the
taking?
psych ward. Yeah, I think she's so pilled up.
Poor Alice.
She's legitimately Nina
I
Winchester.
know it does feel very housematey.
Yeah, she's Nina Winchester, just looped up on pills.
Yeah.
Everyone telling her she's crazy when she's like, I really don't think so. And they're like, no, no, you crazy and dumb.
It's like, oh.
Oh shit. Oh, okay. All right. I'll just keep drinking this bourbon and take these pills. What did you think about Barb's room? So
Okay.
on page 172 to 3.
Okay. Yeah. So Alice goes into her room and she sees the big painting. Or wait, no. Oh, no. This is when, let's see. Is this when Judita sees the room?
Yeah, so Judita walks into Barb's room and she notices that it's recently been painted
Yes.
and there's a suitcase and
Okay, yes. So did Barbara sneak back into her room before she left, or is someone else staying in Barbara's room? Because they have a lot of people over right now. But I seemed kind of suspicious.
I had the same thoughts. I said, is someone staying in Barb's room or did she go back for her things? It feels weird that someone would stay in her room because she has all of her personal effects there and it sounds like
Mm,
she's into weird stuff that Alice would not want the guests to see.
yeah.
So that feels strange.
I bet it's Barbara's stuff. Yeah, I don't think anyone's staying in there. I think you're right.
Now, who and it says, okay, Um, so there's someone's suitcase is open on the floor in front of her. Inside are feminine things that someone has not taken care of. Dresses, slips, high heels, and a bikini, bright orange, still wet from a swim.
I don't know. Is that Barb? Did Barb and Lee go swimming together?
Well, if it's still wet from a swim, that would imply it's someone who is staying there. Like Barb wouldn't go to get her things and have a wet bikini.
I don't know.
Because the other thing is that the only person I think who would have reasonable access to get into Barb's room and collect things for her would be John Paul.
That's possible. Yeah,
Yeah, I don't
I
know.
don't know.
That's very important detail, but I just don't know what to make of it.
Yeah, I really have no idea either. Man, do you think Barbara snuck back into her room before she ran away or before she disappeared?
Say it again.
Do you think Barbara snuck back into her room to like get some things or something or drop off things before she disappeared?
That was my initial thought.
That's kind of was my thought too.
Yeah. So it's like if it's not Barb, the only other person in my mind who it could be would have to be someone inside the house, which would have to be John Paul through connection with Lee or something.
You don't think John Paul and Barbara? No, he's too old. I don't think they could be
I
a thing.
mean, well, no. I mean, Lee is just as old.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
So do you think John Paul
it
and
could be.
Barbara could be a thing?
Could be. It would be creepy and gross, but why not?
Yeah, it'd be kind of weird. That feels more
Nothing
weird
about this
than
book says
Lee.
that that's, yeah, because he's known her since she was a little kid.
Mm, yeah, that's true.
But, sometimes when you grow up together, you're kind of like friend. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to make of that either. That is strange. Okay. What else has happened in this section that we
So,
haven't talked about
do you
yet?
think John Paul left and got lost in the woods? Do you think Lee murdered him
No, you don't think John Paul could have just run away? Like he's safe somewhere?
or run away?
My first
Or
thought
he was
was,
really,
yeah, my first thought was just kind of like run away.
Mhm.
I don't really know where I don't know how he fits into all of this.
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
I think the options for John Paul is that he was blackout drunk. He walked into the woods, he got lost, and he's going to stumble back at some point.
Oh,
Or
okay.
he and Lee got into an altercation, and like I said before, he's dead, and into those garbage bags.
I don't think he's dead.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. He's either running away so he doesn't get targeted as a suspect, but that seems
Mm-hmm.
unlikely, or he's in cahoots with Lee or Barbara, like he's actually a
Mm-hmm.
part of it and so he left. I don't know.
Yeah.
Weird.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, okay. My last note of this section is that Peter, too, Alice's husband, does not want her talking to the detectives. And he is like, um, what does he say? They're like, oh, Alice is like, do they want to speak to me? He's like, no, you're too upset. You need to go in your room and go to sleep. And I was like, why do you not want Alice talking?
I know. Because, yeah, I think he's part of the plan. She needs to say something specific. Did they do
I think
something incriminating?
I think Grandpa killed Bear in a fit of rage.
Oh, you have a
Or
lot of
he
hot-blooded murders in this story.
I know. Well, because I don't see a lot of purpose for Grandpa
Yeah.
to kill unless it's accidental, or he hit Bear, thinks he's dead, and Bear was actually okay and like toddled off. you know?
Oh, that'd be interesting. So Grandpa hits Bear. Bear blacks out. Grandpa says, I need to hide
Yeah.
the body. He goes away. He comes back and Bear is gone.
Yeah. Like something like that, I could see.
Oh, I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is good.
Yeah. Ah, man, we have a lot of theories. I have no idea. I have no idea though.
It could go a lot of ways.
Yeah. This has got us guessing. Okay, so are we ready for the part four?
Yep.
All right, part four, high level summary. We learn a lot more about Carl, who is the groundskeeper for the Van Laars.
Hmm.
Um, so the last section that we read about him ended with him on a search for Bear, but then he faints because of like heart issues. Okay, so he's continued to have heart issues, so he's had to stop helping look for Bear. Um, but his wife is going out every day helping the search party. The whole town is in on it. Okay, but then it comes out that he was the last one to see Bear alive. And so then his wife comes home and is like, this doesn't look good for you. Maybe you should get out of
Hmm.
town, which is so crazy. That doesn't even make sense. But whatever. I guess fine.
Well, that is crazy in a normal sense, but I feel like in this small town stuff, they were like they are about to get a mob with legitimate pitchforks and torches, and they're gonna come bring justice to you.
Yeah. Yeah, so they just needed to pin it on somebody. And Carl was
Hmm.
unfortunately the most likely one. Okay, but when his wife tells him that, he's like, well, there's something I need to tell you. And she was like, oh my gosh, you killed him. And he's like, no, of course not. That's crazy. The thing
Uh,
I need to tell you is that Bear doesn't like his grandpa and is scared of him. And then both he and his wife are
hmm.
like, yeah, that's the most likely suspect, but no one's going to believe us. So they can't really do
Hmm.
anything with that information. Okay, well, what ends up happening is the police come knocking on his door, and we're kind of left on that cliffhanger. Okay. Also, in this part, we learn a lot more about Alice having Barbara and how Alice was after she lost Bear. Like we said before, she started having visions, like she saw a boy in the corner of the room, but he wasn't actually there. She started hearing a boy cry out to her in the middle of the night. And all of these things um, kept her from fully embracing Barbara because, one, she felt like Bear was still alive. And if she were to like share her love with another kid, it's like her love is no longer keeping Bear alive. Also, though, we hear some pretty awful things about how Peter treated Alice when she first had Bear, basically just not letting her be a mother, which was just really sad. So like they hire a nurse, even though Alice is at home all day and she's like, I want to be with the kid. And he's like, no, it's not fitting. So she's not allowed to be a mother. And so that also kind of makes her, when she's about to give birth to Barbara, be like, I don't want to share this kid with everybody again because then they're not actually mine. So, but she doesn't have the same sort of like immediate sense of love for Barbara that she had for Bear. And it's kind of because of all these reasons. So we see that. And then, yeah, we just see more about Peter being a jerk.
Yes, we definitely enter housemaid
We
territory
do.
of like locked up housewife, doped up on pills, not
Yeah.
allowed to do anything,
Sent to the
zero
crazy bin.
agency.
Yeah.
Yeah, golden handcuffs,
Yeah.
as they
Yeah.
say. So one thing I found interesting is that Peter names Barbara.
Oh,
And so
yes.
she had been talking about names. What about this? What about that? And he had no interest. And then he shows up after Barbara's born. And then he's like, what about Barbara? And she's like, oh, that's great. Like, I'm so glad like you're taking an interest in our kids and our family.
Well, she at first says that's a terrible name, but because she wants to encourage him in being interested, yeah, she says, sure, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. She's like, I hate this, but whatever. And then she gets home and then she sees that there's this name book in, is it Peter's library?
I think she had gotten it. I thought it was one of her books that they had gotten for Bear.
Yeah, she bought it. Okay. Alice found the book of names she had bought from a bookstore. This was when she was expecting with Bear. And then his name had been chosen without her input as well. And then she turns to the girl's name and she finds out that it comes from the Greek word barbaros, which means foreign, wild, or strange. And then it also is a derivative of barbarian, which is from the same root. So she's just like, why would Peter pick this name?
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. I really like all the like name origins we're getting in this
Yeah.
book.
So do you think Peter picked the name because he liked it, or do you think he saw that and was like tormenting her because he likes to dangle his smartness in front of
Mm.
Alice and like laugh at her ignorance because she's not educated?
I kind of took this actually as that he doesn't know what the name means because she comments, she reads this and she's like, I don't know like what's common fact and what's not. And so maybe everybody knows this
Hmm.
is the meaning of the name Barbara, but I don't think everyone does. I think for whatever reason, Peter liked it and was like, this sounds like a rich lady's name. She'll be Barbara. And and yeah, and now Alice has found this out, but and so now she's like kind of weirded out by the name, but Peter doesn't even know.
You see, I took it as more devious that Peter
Mm.
saw her book and he's like, what's the worst name I can find? And then he sees that and he's like, I'm going to roll in and be like, we're going to call her Barbara. And then he's going to have like a little laugh while Alice doesn't know.
Oh, okay.
Like, I don't know.
Well, now, but
I
he
mean, it's just,
also has a daughter named Barbara. So does he not love Barbara because she's a girl? He would have loved another boy.
yeah, I think his only goal in life is to have a boy named Peter.
That's it. Okay. Well, so I have a question. So if they actually think if they're not in on the bear heist thing, why didn't they try having another kid until they got a boy? Because Peter originally said when they had Bear, he said, okay, no more kids. We have one boy. That's enough. Unless they wanted to get rid of Bear because they didn't want to have an heir or something. You know,
Yeah,
is John
I
Paul
think
going
they,
to be their heir?
oh, interesting.
That why they had to knock
Well,
off Bear?
so I had a crazy thought when Alice is hearing like mama, 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 and like when Bear's missing. And I was like, is Bear locked up in the house?
Whoa. Whoa. That's creepy.
Yeah. I don't know why though. Why would they lock him up in the house?
Well, it must be the same reason if they were to get rid of him on purpose, which I also don't know what that is.
Like, why
Um,
would they do that?
I don't know. Unless like they don't want him to inherit the family business or something. I don't know. Because it seems like Peter genuinely loves Bear. Like it seems like he was a good kid.
Yeah.
Like they wouldn't want to get rid
Yeah.
of him. I don't know. But they have a really big house. So you know that kind of it could be possible
Yeah.
that there's a room hidden somewhere where they're locking up Bear.
I mean, he could be totally locked up and then Peter too is like, okay, we need to put soundproof room because Alice is hearing him and but it just doesn't make sense. Like why would that
Yeah, I don't know.
unless Peter grandpa thought he killed Bear, Bear runs away, person goes to jail, Carl's dead, Bear comes back, and then they're like, now what do we do? I feel like you would just say, oh, he's found.
Yeah, I know.
So
I don't know. Okay, could it be any advantage to them if after, 15 years or whatever, they reveal, oh, like, oh my gosh, we found Bear? I don't think so, though.
no.
No, I don't think so.
Mm-mm.
Ah, gosh, I have no idea.
Unless they needed like life insurance money or something and
But
they were actually broke.
I don't think you'd have that on a kid, though, right?
A lot of people have life insurance money on kids, but
Really?
it's usually not a lot of money.
Okay.
Yeah, because, well, if your kid dies, then you have to have a funeral, and those are expensive.
Oh, it's sad.
Yeah, it is sad. Plus, it's like if your kid dies, that's like the worst time period of your life.
Yeah.
So it's a good idea that if you have the ability, you pay the life insurance, and then you can take a year or two off of work to try to,
Yeah.
I don't know, go to intense therapy and be really, really sad.
Yeah. That makes sense.
So,
Yeah, okay, but I
yeah,
don't I don't think they were cashing in on his life insurance. I
I
really
don't think
don't
so either.
know.
I know.
Okay, is it at all possible that Bear isn't actually Peter's kid? Probably not. I don't think so because Alice had mentioned that one time when she had been with someone else, but it was after.
Hmm. I think that's unlikely. It's possible, but I feel like it's unlikely based on Alice.
Yeah.
My last comment of the section
Oh, really? Of the whole
is
section?
it ends. Yeah, I mean, we're pretty much done.
Oh, wow.
Is Delphine visits Alice while she's in the loony bin.
Right.
I'm sorry, that's not appropriate. The psych ward.
Yes.
While she's in the psych ward. And um so Alice comes out. She sees it's Delphine and she's like, I don't want to talk to Delphine, because I think she's just embarrassed.
Hmm.
And Delphine smiled tightly, first at the nurse, then at Alice. I won't keep her long, nurse. And so then Alice was like disassociating while she's sitting there with Delphine, and she's just being like, "You're outside Bear's room. He'll wake up shortly. He'll call for you." And so Delphine keeps saying, "Alice, Alice, can you hear me?" Alice doesn't respond, and she says, "I'm sorry." And I was like, "She took Bear."
Oh, yes. What does the name mean? What does the I sorry mean? What?
I mean, part of me is like, she took Bear. The other part is like, I'm sorry this happened to you, and you're now have your brain has cracked. But
I
like,
don't know.
and then Delphine, we never hear from her again, it sounds like.
Ah.
I think Delphine took Bear. I'm back on it. She took Bear.
And she kept him this whole time?
Yeah.
What? How? I don't think Peter would let that happen. Why would Peter let that
She
happen?
she rebranded him.
What? Rebranded Peter?
She's like, we're gonna do a relaunch.
He's my kid now.
He's my kid. His name's not Bear anymore. It's, I don't know, Lion, Leo.
Oh, gosh. Man, yeah, I want to know what the I'm sorry is too. Um, and yeah, I don't know. Unless maybe that's right when they like convicted whoever that of Bears disappearing. But I think it's something more, a little more dramatic. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
Delphine is involved, maybe.
I, Delphine, she does not strike me as, I don't think she'd be malicious if she took Bear. I think it would be out of like, I think I can take better care of him than Alice and her psycho husband, Peter.
Yeah, probably true.
So I don't know.
Interesting. Okay. Are you are you interested in knowing what the name Delphine means?
It feels to me like a count or a duchess or something.
Oh, it's a good thing.
The only anchoring I have is in Mario Kart. There's this thing called Delfino Square, and it feels
Oh,
like a very rich place.
yes, it is. Okay. So, all right. So one is it comes from the Greek word Delphis, which means dolphin. Okay. And
Oh,
they said
okay.
symbolizes grace and intelligence, which are qualities associated with dolphins. Okay, so that's one meaning. It could also, though, mean it's a woman from Delphi and or Delphi, and it was a popular name in France in the 19th century, especially among elite and aristocratic families. So I think it is
Mhm.
kind of associated with like wealth.
Yes. When historians look back and they see all the Aidens and Cadens, they'll be like, because those started off as rich people names.
Yeah.
And then the poors like us, we see, oh, look, they're naming them Aiden and Caden. So now I'm going to name them Aiden. And then it becomes a poor name. So then the Richies
They have
have
to
to go pick a
switch.
new, yeah, they have to switch it up.
Delphine might come back. Okay. Do you want to know the
Okay.
meaning of the name Alice?
Yes.
Google says it means noble and light. It's a pretty good meaning.
Oh, yeah. I think that's a good name.
Intriguing.
All
Okay.
right, last one, Peter.
Peter. I know what Peter means. Do you know what it means?
Doubting?
No, that was Thomas.
Oh,
That was
that's
doubting
Thomas.
Thomas.
Liar. Tax
No.
man. All right.
It means rock.
Oh,
Because he said,
interesting.
I'm building my church on this rock, if you're thinking back to the Bible stories. So yeah, so
Oh,
Peter, like
interesting.
Petra or something. So really solid.
Oh, petrify.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Something like that. To make
Turn
like
to
rock.
stone.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I like that. Very
Yeah.
cool. All right, so are we finishing the book now?
Um, I guess so.
We
Okay.
kind of have a lot of book to go, though.
Well, I think we had, what did we say we were gonna do?
Let's look at our little picture. You drew it out.
Oh, that's true, I did. Good job, me.
Yeah, good job, you. 5 and 6.
Just 5 and 6. Man, it's gonna be tough.
I know. Can you pod tomorrow?
Um, I I'm out of town this Saturday and Sunday.
Okay, I cannot wait 2 weeks to finish this. We have to get this buttoned up.
I agree. So we need to at least do one more this
One more.
weekend. So
Yeah,
then we can finish it. Okay.
exactly.
That's good.
Exactly. We don't have to
We can do that.
finish the potting, but I need to be able to finish the book.
I know.
I've had to read a whole other book in between.
Anything to keep your mind off of it.
I just because every time I'm like, oh, I want to read, I'm like, can't read that.
I know. I know. I feel the same way. This was my Metro book, and I didn't realize how short this section was. And I finished it on the way. I didn't even finish my ride to school. So then I had the rest of that ride and the ride back where I couldn't read a book.
That's what I said. Because
So
I read it the day after we stopped potting. I was like, let's do it again. And you were like, oh no, I'm busy. I'm like,
I hadn't started. Well, I hadn't read it yet.
I know.
Because I was waiting until it was closer to our pod date, so it'd be fresh in my mind, so then I wouldn't have to wait so long.
Uh,
I thought
well,
about it.
it didn't take a lot to read, but it did take us a lot to talk about.
It probably took longer to talk about than it did to read.
That's the bookalicious way.
Longer than the audiobook.
Oh my God. Okay, so with that, let's do our sign
Thanks for
off.
listening.
Yeah, thank you for
Yeah.
listening. If you've gotten
Join us next time.
yeah, join us next time. Make sure you rate, review, subscribe, and tell a friend, especially if you're in our Book Olympics, California,
Texas.
Texas, and Georgia.
Yeah. From Florida, you can still come back.
Yep.
It
Florida,
takes some time though.
yeah, you're gonna have to tell a lot of friends, maybe have a local book club chapter like we discussed, and invite like 100 people.
Each person needs to listen on their own device.
Yes, yes. We no.
Can't have a listen party.
No, you can have a listen party, but you all have your own phones with your headphones and you all click play at the same time.
It's like the silent discos. Have
Yeah.
you seen those? Yeah, have a silent book club party. Perfect. And email us. We love to hear from you.
Yes.
At least we think we would love to hear from you. We haven't heard from anybody yet.
We've heard from people. Don't even. We've had our comments and we had an email from Anna.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. We have had people, not us.
Yes. Yes. All right. Well, we will see you next time for parts 5 and 6.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
We'll see how we did on our predictions.
All right, girly girl. I love you.
Okay. Love you too. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.